She was young, only 19 years old, when her face first began to appear in newspaper columns and TV screens across Britain. Diana Frances Spencer, born into an aristocratic family with ties to the royal circle, had lived a life of quiet privilege, the daughter of Earl Spencer, growing up at Althorpe House, a grand estate in Northamptonshire. Despite her noble lineage, she remained relatively unknown to the public eye until whispers began to circulate that she had caught the attention of Charles, Prince of Wales. Diana's charm lay in her reserved, almost shy demeanor, her soft blue eyes that spoke more than words, and the genuine humility that radiated from her every gesture. She was, to the world and to the royal family, a picture-perfect candidate for the future Queen of England. Prince Charles, by then 32 years old, was under increasing pressure to marry. As the heir to the British throne, expectations weighed heavily on him, not only to find a suitable wife but to fulfill a narrative that aligned with royal tradition. Diana seemed to check all the boxes: youthful, beautiful, from a noble family, and importantly, untouched by scandal or controversy. The media was relentless in their coverage of the budding relationship. Photographers lurked outside her flat in Earl's Court. Paparazzi chased her down as she carried groceries or tried to go about her day as a nursery school assistant. With each new photo, each headline, the public grew more enchanted. To them, Diana was Cinderella in the flesh, a commoner, at least in spirit, being swept into a royal destiny. The courtship was swift, by royal standards. In a matter of months, Charles proposed, presenting Diana with a dazzling sapphire and diamond engagement ring, a choice that broke with tradition since she selected it from a catalogue rather than having it custom-made. But that moment, despite its beauty, held an undercurrent of tension. During their official engagement interview, broadcast nationally, Diana and Charles sat side by side, the media hanging on to every word. When asked if they were in love, Diana nodded quickly and responded, "Yes, of course." Charles added, after a pause that would echo for years, "Whatever, in love, means." That offhand remark, subtle at the time, would later be seen as a sign, a prelude to the emotional distance and complications that would plague their marriage. Despite these early signs of unease, the announcement of their engagement was met with global excitement. Crowds gathered to see glimpses of the soon-to-be princess. Designers speculated about her wedding gown. Royal watchers celebrated what they believed would be a new chapter in the monarchy, a fresh, young face to charm the people and soften the royal image. Diana, for her part, was swept along by the momentum. Behind her shy smile, however, she struggled with the magnitude of what she was stepping into. She confided in close friends that the pressure was immense and that she hardly knew Charles. She was still learning what life in the royal family entailed, the protocols, the expectations, the sacrifices. And yet, the world wasn't looking for signs of hesitation. They were too enchanted by the fairy tale unfolding before them. As the engagement progressed, Diana began to withdraw from the carefree life she once knew. The girl who once shared a flat with roommates, shopped at the local corner store, and spent afternoons caring for children was now being groomed to become the Princess of Wales. Royal aides began instructing her on decorum, curtsies, and public speaking. Her days were filled with fittings, press appearances, and lessons on royal history. It was a whirlwind that offered little room for self-reflection. Diana, still barely out of adolescence, found herself at the center of a story that wasn't entirely her own, a story crafted by centuries of tradition and an eager media hungry for a heroine. And so, as the wedding date approached, she smiled and waved, knowing that the eyes of the world were fixed upon her, yet still unsure whether she was stepping into a dream or a gilded cage.